Balik po tayo sa homepage, mga kaibigan. What qualities are most important to you with your audio system? Are you looking for a professional audio equipment, including professional sound systems? Let's find out this morning if the sound system you're using today is the choice of professionals. Joining us today is Mr. Lars K. Johansson, President of MK Consumer Group, and Mr. Per Becker, co-owner of mksound Professionals. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Thank you.
What is mksound? Can you explain to us briefly what is the history of the company?
The history of the company goes back to the early 70s, where it was founded in Beverly Hills, California. So we are kind of the American dream, if you can say so. We have been developing precision audio speakers for both consumers and professional users, studios like we are in today. The M stands for Mr. Jonas Miller, and the K stands for a gentleman called Ken Kreisels.
Okay.
They were the two original founders of the company. They are now doing other stuff. So we are the team here. We have founded a lot of unique things throughout the years, which we will come in and talk about a little bit later.
Is this your first time in the Philippines, sir?
Yes, it is, and it's very pleasant to be here.
Yeah. So at this point in time, we have noticed in your catalogs that you use the words "the choice of professionals." Being the choice of professionals, what exactly do you mean?
Well, we are the choice of professionals, meaning that professional users like yourself, like the movie industry in Hollywood, uses our products to qualify the sound stage of each movie they make. That goes for the same as you. Sound is still important here as well.
Yes, sir.
THX uses our speakers as their reference. And a lot of other professional users. So that is why we call ourselves the preferred choice of professionals.
Being the choice of the professionals, sir, at this point in time, you have mentioned quality audio by different movies. What exactly examples of movies that you have occurred into?
Well, the number of movies are very long, where I think we're probably in the studios in 85% of the Hollywood scene.
Really?
Hollywood scene,
Yes.
yes. So a lot of studios use our products. Disney Studios, for example, they have all MK when they put sound on the movie. All of Sony's pictures. Sony owns a lot of different movie companies. When they qualify Blu-ray, which we all know,
Yes, sir.
they use our speakers to qualify that the sound stage is good enough. The same goes for some of you may know Dolby. THX is a cinema format for sound, and they use our speakers to qualify. So we are in a lot of places used as the reference speaker, even for reporters that test others' product. They say, okay, our speaker, the MK speaker, is the reference, so we measure against the reference.
So your product is 85% in those movies, right?
Yes. So to mention some of the movies, for example, we have Pearl Harbor, we have King Kong. There are many. There are Iron Man. There's a new Disney Pixar release called Wall-E.
Yes, sir.
But probably most important, and which actually have established our company, is a gentleman called George Lucas.
George Lucas, yes, sir.
George Lucas is the man behind the Star Wars.
Yes, sir.
And we have throughout the history been the speaker behind the Star Wars.
And THX is a surround sound, am I right? And that sound is, what is it? Produced by George Lucas Company?
It's a qualification program which was designed by George Lucas and another gentleman in order for consumers to have the same enjoyment as when you go to the theater, the cinema. So what they wanted to do, they wanted to ensure that their productions can be enjoyed at home at the same level as when you go to the cinema. You have the dynamic, the subwoofer, all the things from the cinema. You have to incorporate that in your home theater. Therefore, all our quality products fulfill the THX standards.
Are there any special designs that MK sound different from other companies or units as well?
There are a few things, as I said earlier, which has set us apart from the other companies. There are many good speaker companies, but we were the first to make small, ultra-compact speakers. We were the first to make subwoofers. We were the first to make active subwoofers. And to pause a little on a subwoofer, the subwoofer is the one which create the low-end enjoyment in a home theater. It's one of the most important part of a home theater. We were the first in the world to design subwoofer, active subwoofers.
So being the first in the world is somehow, at this point in time, would you consider it very hard for you to be, number one?
Yeah.
I would say we certainly have a reputation to live up to and to fulfill, because we are known as a subwoofer company. So yes, it keeps us on our toes, so to say, when we do new developments. So yes, it does. But I just want to mention that this is probably also a very special speaker and design for us, and very unique. Same product used in the movie industry as well as in the home theaters, in private homes.
So at this point in time, maybe this is your first time in the Philippines, right? It is important that most of the films here, I think you should be the sound engineer or sound equipment that they plan to get into.
It's of course our goal that through our local partner here, that we will down the road have the chance to come into some of the film production. I read in the newspaper yesterday that it's suffering a little bit in generally, but time changes, and as we are here now, maybe our partner here will have a chance to come into the studio. So we also are not only as the choice of professionals from Hollywood, but also maybe from Manila.
From the Philippines, yes.
Yes.
Anyway, sir, at this point in time, can you explain that what this THX all about, especially when it comes to your audio equipment?
I would say that beside it's a standard to make the quality as good as in the theater. It's also a performance qualification, so that you get for different size room, you have different size equipment. So if you have a 20 square meter or a 40 square meter, THX have different certification level, from Ultra 2 down to something called Select.
Yes.
And our products are in all those categories.
And it's developed actually to give as Lars said, the home viewer the exact same experience as if he went to the cinema. So that's the idea, and that's the purpose of THX.
So when you are in a room, for example, you will get the sound of a cinema.
Yes,
Exactly.
Anyway, sir, what is your final message to our viewers, sir?
I think the final message is that we are one of the few unique brands. We have an icon which we call we like to call ourselves like the Porsche 911. Yeah. This is our S150. There's a brand new model coming to the market next month. Go look in your local stores and find the MK product. Make sure you get a good demonstration, because that will convince the consumer that it's a really good product.
Yes.
And if I might add, in the end, 70% of a movie experience is the sound. So everybody buys big TVs, screens, and so on, but actually 70% of an experience going to the theater is the sound stage. So the sound level and the speaker that you actually use are very important.
This is actually a quote from Steven Spielberg himself. 70% is the audio.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Lars Johansson and Per Becker, thank you so much. Daily Health is up next when Homepage returns.